It is day 3 of our holiday money saving challenge. I want to make sure I go live over on my Instagram too. So let me just pull that up. I totally forgot. And we're going to get started now. Ellen is here. Hello. Say hello as you guys hop on for day 3 of the holiday money saving challenge. The goal of this challenge is to save you $500 or find you $500 that you can spend for the holidays. I hope that if you've joined us already, you've dug into the activities. If you haven't, you can go to approachyourmom.com/holiday money saving. Don't even worry about it because you will get the day 1 and 2 activities. Don't forget logistically that you can win a scholarship to Busy on a Budget, which opens up on Friday. And what you will be able to do is put in your comment every single day on the thread. You have until Friday at midnight. You will get entered to win access to the course. So don't forget to do that. I've already got the leaderboard. I'll pull it up so that I can give some shout outs to some people who've already got both days in. Let me grab that for you. So I can share some awesome names of people who are just killing it already. And listen, I know a couple of people are like, I'm working weird shifts. My schedule's all over the place. Don't worry about it. You have till Friday. But here's what we've done so far, just to recap. Monday, we talked about our goals. We created financial goals. There was a chart that you can print out. You know, it really allowed you to go in and decide what you were saving for. Some people said they wanted to save for $500. Some people said they needed less. Some people said they wanted more. Some people said they already had the holidays covered, so they wanted to look at something else, okay? Then yesterday, we did the work. We went into our accounts, we color-coded, we highlighted, we saw where we were spending money, and we talked about where you can make some changes, just short-term ones, right, for the next couple weeks so that you can hit your 6-week income goal. Because I know that it can be very challenging over the holidays to overhaul your entire budget. And that's not what we're talking about. That's, you know, probably not the best use of your time, truthfully, right now. But a good use of your time is to come up with a short-term goal and is to get ready for 2020. So, hey, Arwen, hey, Teresa, hey, Jennifer, how are you? So that's kind of where we want to go. I want to read, hold on, I'm pulling up, I got like 9 computers here. I want to just read some of the people who've gotten their 2 points already. So that means that they've done both assignments. Oh wait, my thing is not filtered. Hold your horses. I'm going to pull it up because some of you guys have showed up and done such a good job, and I want to make sure we give some shout outs, and I want to read over some of the goals that people have also been doing so far this year. So a couple people, and again, I haven't done the points from last night. Hey, Allie, how are you? I did them at like 8:30, so anyone who came in after 8:30 and then this morning, I will go back and reconcile. I always do. But so far, these people already have done both activities and are going to be entered to win the scholarship for Busy on a Budget. Annette, Arwen, Beth, Caitlin, Sharon, Dana, Jen, Jennifer, Carrie, Krista, Lindsay, Mary, Pamela, Patty, Sandra, Talon, Tanya, Tara, Joe, Tasha, Valerie, and Vicky. And I know that so many of you finished yesterday and day 1, so don't worry, I'll go back. But I wanted to shout out the people I had as of last night. Hey, Kate, how are you? Okay, so today's assignment was talking about how you can stretch your grocery budget to make more money. So we're going to use the same process here. If you went through and you did the worksheets, you probably saw what you were spending last year on your groceries. So my recommendation was, where's my one sheet? Of course, my kids spilled like milk all over the table today. Okay, so I went through and noticed that even though our grocery budget is $100 per week, and then another $40 for like baby and stuff. So I would say our monthly should be $480. And I wound up spending $584. So I went $100 over our grocery budget. Now, when you say it that way, it sounds really scary, but really $100 over is $25 a week. So that just means that I maybe didn't plan well. I did a couple impulse buys. Maybe my husband picked something up somewhere or we didn't write it down right. Okay, so I know that I went over by $100. So I don't want to do that this month. My goal is to hit that $500 for the holidays. So I'm going to say that I'm going to get back to $500 total, and that's groceries, household, and diapers. All of that is in one. So what I recommend you do is you look at your numbers from yesterday, you decide how you're going to go down, and then you take that money out in cash and you put it in your envelope, okay? You're just saying, I'm spending less this month and I'm telling my money what to do, because if I don't tell my money what to do, well then boom, it's just gonna sit there, right? If you're not sure how to make a grocery budget, one of the things I recommend you do is what I call like the $20 movement. The $20 movement is literally just changing what you spent last month or last pay by $20. Because when we try to make this huge, grandiose goal, like I'm not going to tell you that your grocery budget should be my grocery budget. Once I heard that you should have $20 per week per person that lives in your house. That's what your grocery should be. That's how I came up with $100 a week. That's it. But now it's getting tight, right? I think I've already shared this. Like my kids are eating more, they're wasting more. We buy healthier options, a lot more organic. So it's costing a little bit more money. So I'm actually going to increase it by $20. And that's it, just increase. So you can do the same with your budget. I'm not going to tell you that if you were spending $900 last month on food, that you should go down to $400, right? I'm not going to say that because that's not realistic. But can you decrease it by $20 a week? Can you try to spend $20 less a month? Can you use this $20 transition to like slowly move it till you find a place? You want it to be in a place where you're still counting, you're still got your calculator out at the grocery store, you're still tracking, but not a place where you're stressed at the end of every week. Like that's where I was getting with my budget. I was like, I don't have any more money and we're out of fruit. Like, you know, like those things like that. And it wasn't that we weren't spending excessively. It was just that like people were eating more, so we needed to adjust the budget. So you got to find that happy medium. Where are places I can save and where are places that, you know, we do need a little bit extra. So you're going to want to go and find your number. So take what you had found in day one, when you did your highlights, when you went through and did these, get your number and decrease it by whatever you want that's going to hit your goals, and then take that money out in cash for December. And just put it right in the envelope, okay? And then say for the next 6 weeks, so maybe say $1,200. Say you were spending $200 a week, okay? So say you were like, I'm spending $200 a week on groceries, or that's what I want to do. Say you were spending more than that. Say you found that for an average on 6 weeks you're spending $1,500. Well, instead say, can I spend less? Can I only spend $200 a week instead of $250 a week? Like think of it per week. Make it small enough so it doesn't seem scary. So figure it out. What is it per week? And then you take that money out and you make your budget and you use the strategies we'll talk about today to stretch what you already have. Okay? Kate says, good morning. Groceries are always your biggest expense. Most of us hit like if you're like, yes, groceries are the biggest expense. Besides bills, groceries are number one for us, right? As well. And it was eating out until we stopped a lot of the eating out. We'll talk about that too. But you can trim. There are so many ways to trim that we're going to talk about today. Keisha's here. Amy's here. Hello. Oh, Amy said you were looking on the wrong page. I'm everywhere this morning, Amy. Natalie's here. Hello. Mary's here over on Instagram. Marina's here too. Marjorie. Hello, everybody. So let's talk about ways that we can save. I was like, I need notes today because I got to stay on track. That we can save money if you're choosing to do this. So step one, pick your number. What is the number that you're going to go for? The assignment today was actually just to use what you have for pantry ingredients, but I want us to keep looking into next week or next month of the next 6 weeks and say, like, what do I already have that I can use to stretch? Like, how much is it going to be? Because I want you to see how much you really can save. If you take $20 each week out of your grocery budget and put it aside, that's $80, right? $80 towards a goal. That's one nice payment that you can put as an extra payment to a credit card, right? That's $80 going into your savings. That's $80 helping you make another bill that maybe you weren't making previously, right? Start thinking about it that way and start saying like, wow, okay, this $20 matters. Because if you don't look at it that way, the $20 will be bought in impulse buys at the store. It will be bought in those last minute things at the checkout. It will be bought in ingredients that you forgot to plan for. It will easily be bought and, oh, look, they have pasta on sale. Let me just grab a couple boxes. Whereas if you're not, then you're not going to spend it, okay? Jen says, how do I handle trips to BJ's when you buy in bulk but not every week? The groceries vary a lot per week. Okay, so what I would recommend, you could do a couple things. My friend Amy over at Eating Healthy Spending Less, she has a BJ's budget. So she says that they have their grocery budget for the week. I think they have $100 too. But then she has an extra $100 a month that is just for BJ's trips. And she takes it that way. So let's look again. So if I was trying to still decrease my grocery budget, but I wanted to just be intentional about it, and I found I was spending $800 a month. So I might say I want to go from spending $800 a month to $600 a month. So you got to take 200 of it out. Then you would maybe pull and say, well, 100 of that is going to go to BJ's, and then 100 a week is going to go to regular grocery store. And you could do it that way. You could also do like a monthly. So we do bi-weekly, like every other week I take the money out for our groceries on payday. So if you're going every other week, then you just go to BJ's first and then you fill in what you have at the regular store. But also look, I find that BJ's can be savings for some things, but for some things it's not. So you really have to look at the prices. Like you really have to say like per unit, per ounce, and see if it's really a good deal. It is for a lot of things though, I think. Ellen says, we do fantastic at the grocery store. You've been working on that for months, but eating out is killing us. Yes. I hopefully you went through and saw yesterday you're eating out so you can make some plans for that. And Amy says, Jen, maybe you can do a monthly budget and average it out. Smart, yep. Teresa says, eating out is the biggest issue too. Okay, cool. So we'll talk a little bit about groceries and then we'll talk about eating out since I know that that's an area we want to talk about too. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to recommend is doing your eat out of the pantry. We did this the first time we came back from our debt workshop, and it was phenomenal for us. We went 3 weeks, I think, almost 4, and all we had to buy was like milk and produce because we buy too many things. We buy 5 boxes of cereals. Every time we go to the store, we pick up a box of pasta because it's on sale. We buy pasta and rice and 7 different rice sides and all the options for the kids, and you don't need all the things. You can tell it's the end of the week in my home because that cabinet, the pantry, the fridge is empty. We buy what we need for that week. So we need to stop stocking up for nuclear disaster and start living in the budget. Now, I will say that I also coupon. And just so you know, a lot of people have been asking my couponing. I'm going to throw in my coupon masterclass as a bonus for Busy on a Budget. So just know you'll get a extra coupon training. I put it in there already. I have there are now 2 couponing modules in Busy on a Budget. I added that in last night. So because if I coupon and I haven't couponed in a while actually. My husband used to work for the newspaper, and so when he would deliver the paper, I would get paper for free. And now I don't coupon as much anymore, and I should get back to it. Because I shop at Aldi also, and like I don't feel the need to coupon as much, and they don't take coupons. But coupons help a lot for toiletries and certain food things. But if I coupon, say I got 4 boxes of pasta for free, like yeah, I'm totally gonna keep them, right? But if not, you don't need to be buying them. So doing an eating out of the pantry challenge is going to help so much in a few ways. One, your kids don't need as many choices. They don't need to have 6 things to choose from for breakfast, right? Also, it'll help you stretch your budget. So this upcoming week, eat from what you have in the pantry. Do you always want to have it? No, not always, but you can make it work because it aligns with your goals. The other thing I got was actually Annette, one of the community members, shared that she does like kind of a backwards meal plan, where instead of sitting down with her paper and saying like, what am I going to make this week? She sits down with her paper and says, what do I have in my pantry? She makes a list of all the things she has in her pantry, and then she makes her meals based on that. And we've started to do that, and it's been really helpful because instead of making the meals first, I do that. So there's a website, supercook.com. You go in and you put in everything you have in your pantry, and it gives you ingredients and it gives you recipes. So if you're stuck, but that's a really great way to start creating a backwards meal plan where you're saying, what do we already have? And then you're only going to the store for the extra things. That will help you save as well. Amy says you slashed your grocery budget last time that you worked on it, but you went too far. Okay, yep. So that is one of those things. If you go too far, it's okay to just adjust. You're not failing at budgeting if you have to raise your budget. But ask yourself, are you raising the budget because you've gotten like sloppier with your spending? Not in like a negative way, but like I know for me, I had to say, am I buying more impulse things? Or did the quality change? So I know we started buying more organic. Or is everyone just eating more? Like that's okay. Eating out is the problem. Hubby tends to be cavalier about spending on eating out. I could reduce it by meal planning and actually cooking. It looks like I don't have anything for dinner, and he'll tend to just want to help me instead of saying, let's bring something in. So that's good. So here's the thing, right? When it comes to eating out, we often do it because we don't feel like cooking or we don't have a plan. So I am definitely recommending meal planning here. Meal planning saves you money because one, you're going to use what you already have. You're also not going to make those last minute trips. How many times are we like, oh, I forgot this ingredient, so I have to run to the store and get it. And maybe you don't go to the store where you like, I don't feel like going to Aldi. Like this happened to me last week, I think. I didn't want to go to Aldi because I was going to Aldi the next day to do my regular shop, but I needed one ingredient for a recipe. So I had to go to Acme and get it, which is more expensive. But I went to Acme, and then when I was at Acme, I thought, oh, I need this. Oh, look, they have this. And then I wound up leaving with a cart, spending about an extra $30 compared to just the $2 I could have spent if I had planned it in advance. So you can also do things like capsule pantry. So my friend Elisa over at Meal Planning Blueprints, she has an entire course on how to use a capsule pantry. It's essentially like a capsule wardrobe for your food, where you have 10, I don't even know how many it is, so you'd have to ask her, but like say you have 10 staple ingredients and you just make different meals from those 10 ingredients. So you're just always buying the same things, but you're mixing it up. It allows you to stretch your budget as well. Jennifer says, do you have any suggestions for app programs to track prices or just a spreadsheet? I have a Trello board for tracking prices. I bet that there's a really cool app for that. I don't have one. So if anyone has a recommendation, let me know. I tend to track prices at different ones on Trello instead of a spreadsheet, because then I can just pull my phone up with me at the store. Nash says, hello. Amy says, you're doing a pantry challenge this week as part of no spending and because you're going to be gone next week, so you're not stocking up. And that's so smart, guys. You're going on vacation, right? Why would you buy more things, right? Like, why would you do that? So this is the no spend week. We're doing Monday through Thursday, so you've almost made it. One more day of not buying extra things at the store. You have to get creative, and this is a really great way to allow you to get creative. And it allows the kids to get creative. Hey, what do you think we could make? And like, yeah, sometimes maybe you get bored and you have to eat pasta for 4 nights in a row, but it's going to help. The other reason a no spend challenge helps is because it just allows you to be aware of what you're bringing in the house. Because I was literally just looking for something to bring to school for the donations for the food pantry, and I realized I had like a dozen cans of tuna fish, because every time I went to the store, I knew my husband wanted tuna in a salad, so I would pick up a couple cans. And then he had like 3 weeks where he didn't put tuna in a salad. He put like a different protein, and now we have all this tuna fish. So now we need to use the tuna fish instead of buying it. And like, you're probably like, Kara, tuna fish costs 66 cents at Aldi, which is a great price, by the way. Yeah, but if I'm spending $3 every week on tuna, I could instead take $3 and buy a half gallon of milk, right? Like, that's what we have to start thinking. Teresa's here, hello. The other thing I wanted to recommend was using couponing and apps. So I'm not going to get hardcore into coupons right now. I have 2 modules over in the Busy on a Budget on couponing. But couponing is a great way to stretch your money. You don't have to be an extreme couponer to make it work. The easiest way is just to use the store apps. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, she was like, oh, I'm trying to like be on a budget and stuff. And we were at Target together, and she didn't pull her phone out once to check the cartwheel. I was like, girl, do you really want to be on a budget? Because you're not even scanning for cartwheel. She's like, oh, that's just a few cents. Okay, get the 40 cents. Like, what are you doing? It stretches the budget. And when you use cash budgeting, then you're really seeing the money. That's why she used a card at the end. I was like, now Target is the one place I will say I'm tempted to get a red card, because I'll get the extra 5%, but it's not worth it for me, because then I'll just make excuses to overspend on things. So if you're using the cash budget, though, it really helps and it matters. Hey, Krista, how are you? So simple. Almost every grocery store has an app. Just download it. There'll be extra coupons. I got, they had Capri Sun, like a 12-pack of Capri Sun for 50 cents a couple weeks ago at Acme. And I went to get it because the kids have holiday parties coming. We don't do juice boxes like at home, but they have holiday parties, and we have 3 birthdays that we're hosting here. And you can only buy 2 at a time, unfortunately. But I bought the 2, and I brought them in for the holiday party. And it cost me $1 at the holiday party it was like the harvest party for Halloween. Cost me $1 instead of spending $5, right? Like, that mindset works. So get your apps from your store and start those. In the challenge today, I also linked all of my very favorite couponing apps that are easy to use. These are all after the fact apps where all you do is scan a receipt. Fetch Rewards, I'll make sure that gets in the comments. And they're having a special promotion right now. Anything you scan, you get 1,000 points. I got $40 in gift cards the other day, and I was able to use them at Barnes & Noble to buy what's it called? Christmas gifts. And Amy, she's here. She was just telling us that she used her Fetch Rewards and some swag bucks to buy our book club book. Like, Fetch is great. You literally take your receipts, you scan it after. Ibotta is the same. There's a whole list. They're in the challenge today. If you're not even trying with those, then like, are you really trying to budget? Like, that's what I want to say. Like, and it doesn't take that long. Literally, you could get all your receipts and at the end of the week scan it once, or you could go back from the store and like scan. It takes 30 seconds. It's just all about doing it. Amy says that you can get the red card to your bank instead of the credit card. It's a swipe instead of cash. Yeah, that's the one I mean. That I know that you get like 5% if you get the red card. That's the debit, and 10% if you get the credit. But even the debit one I would be swiping, and then it would be easy for me to be like, oh, I also need this. Let me just throw it in with this purchase instead of this comes from the grocery budget or whatever it is. Now, I will tell you, with cash budgeting, I have to check out like 5 times, and that's annoying. So I do shop at Aldi. That was like one of the tips I gave. If you don't have an Aldi near you, hit it up. But I do make 3 transactions every time I go. So there's the grocery transaction, there's the household transaction, and then there's the what's it called? The baby, like the diapers. So it's annoying because I got to put the little dividers and do 3, and all of that just move so fast. You're like, wait, this is where I'm separating. But I don't care. I don't care at all. That's why I like to do self-checkout, because I can just separate it however I want. All those things work. Oh, Tara just says, I love Fetch. Nellie says, Amy, that's how mine's linked. Always bring your reusable shopping bags. Excellent. Tosh says, you love Ibotta. You haven't used Fetch. Yeah, download it. I put my link. They have a promo right now, so I appreciate it. It's easy. You just scan the receipts afterwards. Amy says, you badgered your friends into signing up for Fetch to get me your bonus points because you had Amazon price of the book and Target and you wanted to cover it. Beautiful. I love that. These gift cards, tomorrow we'll talk about saving money on gifts for the holidays, but using your points from gift cards are really smart. That's why I saved all of the Fetch ones until I had enough to like get gift cards. So I have to buy gift cards for teacher gifts. But I can't like give them my Fetch rewards, but I could use my $5 that I earned at Fetch rewards and go buy a $5 gift card at the Barnes & Noble and then give that to the teacher. Nothing out of pocket. So these ones really work well. So again, if you're like, oh, I want to get started with some couponing, I recommend the apps. I recommend your store's coupons. Those are like the best digital places to go. I'm also going to recommend making a meal plan and eating from your pantry because it will tell you how much it saves, and then you'll be able to get kind of put that away into your goal. Armin says, you can't trim the next 2 months, but you're going to aim for staying the same instead of increasing with 2 people at home. That's a great goal. That is a great, great goal. And she says she started Fetch 2 weeks ago and you have almost $9. It's great. And when you think about that, it just lets you stretch your budget. And you can even use those for like your fun money. If you're in a spot where you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're not sure what to do and you can't make bills, well, that's what we did when we didn't have the extra money. I would use my Fetch rewards, my Ibotta. I would cash them in to buy things like I needed to make up, or like I needed to buy myself something that like I needed socks, like those things that I wasn't prioritizing. I used those coupon app gift cards to buy those things, and it really helped because otherwise, if you just use them, you let them sit there, or you use them on like things that don't make the most sense. It's not getting the best bang for your buck. You can also now on Ibotta, you can connect like your debit cards to there. And then if you order through them, you get like cash back. So when we got our fridge at Lowe's, they had like a cash back deal and you'd get like $30 cash back. We were buying the fridge anyway, So those apps are cool. I talk about them in today's challenge. And I really think that was it for groceries. So what I want you to do today is I want you to meal plan based on what you have in your house for the rest of the week and next week. Start there, okay? So the challenge assignment is we didn't talk about eating out. Sorry, guys, we didn't talk about eating out. So the first part of the challenge assignment is to use the pantry system to go ahead, take what you already have, and make your meal plan for the rest of the week. The next one, I'm going to get to these questions, and then I'm going to talk about eating out, was to decide if you are eating out next week and how much it's going to cost. Now, I know that next week is a bit of an anomaly because of the holiday, and that could be extra, but that's something I talk about sinking funds in the course. Like, save your receipts, guys, for whatever you're spending for Thanksgiving this year so you can plan for next year. That's just a side note. Natasha says she started using grocery pickup at Walmart, and that you – wait, sorry. I started using Walmart grocery pickup for items that I need that didn't have coupons and aren't normally on sale, and it stays within budget. I've been thinking about doing that. Armin says, Ibotta, check FD1, My Points, and Swag Bucks. I don't know My Points, so tell me about that one. Sarah just says, Ibotta is a lot of name brand stuff, and then we shop at Aldi and get store brand stuff. If we aren't shopping at Aldi, Ibotta does have some things about being name brands, not as many. Yeah, you know what? That's why I wasn't using Ibotta as much for those types of purchases, because I shop at Aldi, and it's so much cheaper if you don't care about a name brand. Adria's here. Hello. Amy says, you have the same issue with Ibotta. You felt like there's a lot of work for the reward. Maybe just check out the new thing that Kara said about it. Yeah. And I like Fetch too. Fetch is my favorite because you just scan a receipt. And Shopkick. If you guys haven't used Shopkick, because Shopkick's like fun. You ever see the show Supermarket Sweep where you have to go in and run and grab things? That's what I feel like I'm doing with Shopkick. So Shopkick, you get points for walking into stores. And then you get points for scanning things when you're in the store. So if I'm in the makeup aisle anyway, and they're like, scan the Sally Mae quick dry 60-second dry nail polish, you just scan it and then you get points and then you can get gift cards. All this is linked in today, by the way. Kate says Drop is a good one. Oh, I don't have Drop. And you use Walmart Grocery Pickup, you get 3,000 points every time. 10,000 can be redeemed for a $10 gift card. Oh, I like where your head's at. I also don't use Instant Cart or any of those, so I'd love to hear your experiences. I find it challenging because I use cash budgeting. I like to go to the store to have it be in my control, but I feel like it would save me a lot of headache if I used it. All right, let's talk eating out real quick. There's a lot of really great ways that you can save on eating out. You just have to be smart about it. I don't think it's wrong to have an eating out budget. if you guys want to eat out, but what I want you to do is go to your papers and say, like, what did you do last week, last month? Where can you trim this month to hit your goal? Always think it that way. Where can I trim to hit my goal? I'm not trimming just for the sake of living like a Spartan and never eating out. I'm trimming because I have a goal. Now, if your goal is just to track for 6 weeks, like, you might not trim as much. If your goal is to find $500 and you found that you spent $500 eating out, well, there's a place you can trim. Now, I'm not saying you have to trim all $500 of it. What if you trim half of it? What if you use the $20 principle? And again, it's called the $20 principle, but you can just obviously adjust it to trimming more, but it's just that small trim. Can I trim $100 of my eating out budget? Where were you eating out? So if you didn't, if you went through and highlighted, now go back and do like a second run through. Where were you eating out? Where were the triggers? So I noticed that Ariana has dance Tuesdays. And on Tuesdays, I tend to spend money because I'm trying to get Isaiah out of the dance studio because he's just it's a mess. So we need an hour of something to do. We were spending money. We were going to get food. We were doing this and that. Little things adding up. If you're noticing that you're eating, some people have said that they found they were spending money on coffee every day. I used to be there too. Dunkin' Donuts, Wawa, every single day. Can you invest in a coffee pot at your job, right? Where can you, or instead of just cutting it completely, I'm getting coffee every single day and I'm spending $3 or $5 on coffee every single day. Can I just get coffee 3 days a week? I'm not saying you can't have your coffee, but if you just get coffee 3 days a week, you then take the $20, take it out in cash, put it in your envelope, okay? Take it out, or don't take it out, send it right to the credit card, wherever you're put, whatever your personal goal is, okay? So like, take that, shrink it, give yourself a budget, and if you give yourself a budget, then you have this freedom. You're like, wait a minute, I still can eat out. I just am picky. So instead of getting a soda, I'm just going to get a water and stretch that. Instead of getting dessert and an appetizer, we're just going to get one. Instead of going out 4 nights a week, we're just going to go out 2. Instead of hitting up the drive-thru, I'm going to bring food with me as we do the carpool shuffle for sports, right? Think it through and think about it. And you then go eat out. Hit up lunch menus if you can. Happy hour. Find BOGO for your kids. Oh, so many places have bring your kids for free. Go to Groupon. Find a restaurant that has a deal. Not saying you can't eat out. Be smart about it. So the second part of the assignment was to go in, look at the places you might be eating out. And again, next week it's Thanksgiving, so it's a little bit different. And if you're spending next week, I want to encourage you to do 2 cash transactions. One for stuff that's groceries and one for stuff for Thanksgiving if you're starting to track your income that way. Otherwise, then you're going to have to itemize which you could if you're just like itemizing it. But I find, so if you don't have a Thanksgiving budget, you could go to the store next week and just use your cash budget for your groceries. And then you could swipe your card for Thanksgiving and then take that receipt and just write it down for next year. That's okay too, but just track and pay attention. Amy says that you used to have Shopkick. You should download it. You definitely do good. Morning, Tim. How are you? Oh, Tim, I saw your message in my inbox. I will get to it. Sorry. Arvin says you don't leave anywhere that delivers. Walmart pickup doesn't work with Ibotta or other orders, so you don't get a regular receipt, but now they take the EBT card, so it's good on impulse buys, and you know ahead. Excellent. Alicia's here. Good morning. Tasha says you like the Chick-fil-A app. When you eat out, we get points to get free stuff, and you order ahead of time to help with the budget. And that's cool. Okay, that's a great idea too. So let's talk Chick-fil-A. I like Chick-fil-A, this is something I should do that I don't. I noticed that last month we spent $145 on eating out. Okay, that's like way over our typical budget. But if I notice that we spent 45 or 50 of it at Chick-fil-A, then what I should do is say, all right, I'm going to take our budget from $145.23 down to $100. Just going to slash it a little, which means one less, no Chick-fil-A for the month, or one less eating out, or a couple less trips to Starbucks, whatever it was. So I'm going to take that 145, bring it down to 100. Well, I find that half of it is spent at Chick-fil-A because we go there before practices and whatever it is. Okay, I'm just thinking out my process. Take that $50 and put it right on your Chick-fil-A app. This way, you can earn points to earn free things. And that's your budget. Once it's gone, it's gone. You're not going to go over. You got to be smart. You got to count. You got to say one less appetizer, whatever. Natasha, good idea. And almost every place has an app, so find it. Just do a little research. Amy says, when your kids were little, your daughter had dance class, you found a used bookstore downstairs where your son could buy a book for $0.25 and walk, and the transaction killed the time while we waited for class. Super smart. Yeah, now I found that I'm just like doing things. We're just spending money because it's cold. When it was warm, we would just like walk around the neighborhood. The library we could go to, but by the time we get to the library, we're there for like 20 minutes, which isn't enough time. Tasha's good idea if you're planning ahead of time. Amy says that we're going on a youth trip this weekend and lunch on the way down is in the plan. I'm debating whether I can bring food, so I have to buy myself lunch. knowing that hubby and kids won't be on board with that, but it would save your $5. Yeah, and I'd recommend that. If you know, like, for example, when we had to go to the emergency room, I definitely grabbed a snack before I left the house and threw it in my bag because I knew otherwise I would be spending it at the emergency room. I was like, I know we're in an emergency, but I need to take 5 seconds and throw some grapes in my bag because if not, I'm going to spend money at the gift shop and it's, the cafeteria. And I did. This wasn't even November's, this was October's, but we spent a lot of money and people came and helped us out this weekend. So I just gave them my card to buy food for because they brought their kids and stuff. So I know that we went over again, but that's what emergency, right? That would come from the emergency fund. Eating out is okay. You just have to be on a budget. Guys, budgeting is not about you can't have anything. And the people who teach budgeting like that, like, I don't know what life they're living, but I have 3 kids and a busy life and we just live it a little differently. It's not that you can't have everything. It's like you have to choose what you're prioritizing. If I'm trying to save X amount up to hit my goal in the next 6 weeks and I trim and I realize that just doing a tiny trim isn't going to get me there, well, then you do a big slash. Okay? So go through and I notice that I'm short $50 to hit my 6-week goal. That's why you go through, you made your 6-week goal, you divide it by 6 weeks, that's how much you need to save each week. And if I'm seeing here that even if I slash this budget, and this budget, I am short $100, well then you slash a little bit more, right? Then you trim a little more and you trim until you get to where you want for your goal. And you pick where you spend according to your priorities. When we didn't have, now again, this is for people who are like, I can cover my bills and stuff. Now, when we didn't have that money, when we couldn't cover our bills, we didn't have any extra spending and we just lived a little differently. And that's okay. And like I mentioned, tomorrow and Friday will be really geared towards saving money on like those types of things. But these tips today can help you. If you're creating budget categories and you're like, I don't even know where to start with them, it's okay. Like you'll get there. And while you're in the process of like figuring out how to trim your budget, how to make your bills each week, it's ebbing and it flows and you'll figure it out. You just got to play around. It takes 6 to 12 months to create a really good budget. Armin says that you do that with Starbucks. Most of your money comes from there. Our point redemption from Swagbucks or other places. Me too. I'm always checking in. I'm always taking my app. I don't go to Starbucks unless I have money from a app that I've earned because you can just cash them in that way. Tosh says, you realize that eating out is more expensive when you're older to become teenagers and don't eat off the kids' menu. Yes, that is a truth for us as well. My kids are at the point where right now they can still split a kid's meal, the little two at least, not the big one. But now they're getting hungry and now we have to buy 2 kids' meals. I'm like, oh. Good, cool. Alicia has great tips and advice. Thank you. All right, guys. We are going to close up shop today. It has been really fun going into day 3. I just want to remind you, you have until Friday to complete all 3 assignments. If you're not over at purposedrivenmom.com/holiday-money-saving, go. You'll get days 1 and 2 in your inbox. And you are still eligible. You have to Friday to win the scholarship for when Busy on a Budget opens Friday morning. It will open with the first assignment. People have been asking what time. As of right now, it will open up as soon as you're done with the first assignment. Fingers crossed, trying to get everything together for that. And then when I go live at 11, I'll talk more about the different options and the plans. So any more questions on this, let me know. Hop back in our group. Put all your things there. I'm going to put in the group my direct links for any of the apps that I talked about. I'd obviously appreciate if you use them because they're referral links and they help earn me some Starbucks gift cards too. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for getting on. And I am going to end over there on Instagram. Oh, we had lots of people on for Instagram. Let's download that, share the story. And thank you guys for getting on Facebook. I'll share this into our Facebook group, and hopefully you will come join. If you're already in the challenge and you're not in the Facebook group, come on over. It's been really fun to just hang out. I think only like 1/5 of the women who've signed up for the challenge are actually in the group. I think there's like 700 and something who are in the challenge, and only like 200 have signed up. So everyone come on over. It'll be super fun. And have a wonderful rest of your day. I am going to go pick my kids from school. Ooh, crazy morning today, but we got this. Have a good one.